Oh, he's awake.
Professor, can you hear me?
Yes. I'm fully conscious.
The operation was a success. All the pathogens were removed. And your heart is functioning normally.
It was a complicated procedure, but we were able to complete it. Being operated on while you still had your strength should speed your recovery.
Well, Professor, congratulations on the success of your operation.
Thank you.
That stigma is quite a remarkable disease. I never imagined such an insidious pathogen could exist. It amazes me each time I watch the recording of the operation.
Recording? Rousseau, I thought I made myself clear. I only gave you permission to read through the existing data.
Yes, that's true, but I thought perhaps...
My orders are absolute. Or are you scheming to steal my research?
Don't be silly, Professor. I'm completely loyal to...
I want everything in this room. That includes any recordings and extracted organisms. I won't have them where I... Oh!
Professor, please. You must stay calm.
Dr. Rousseau, can't whatever you have to discuss with Professor Wilkins wait until later?
Yes, well then, please excuse me, Professor.
Please. I'd like to be alone for a while. Don't worry. I won't overexert myself.
Then we'll return later to explain your status.
Yes. Thank you.
We don't have a sample or any data. So how do you intend to study stigma, Marcus?
Are you just going to pretend it doesn't exist?
No self-respecting doctor would admit the existence of such a thing, outside of a sci-fi movie.
That's only because they lack the knowledge.
Oh, really?
Do you recall the incident that occurred 10 years ago? A deadly man-made infectious disease spread throughout the world. It was known as guilt.
Now that you mention it, I do remember that. Is there a connection between guilt and stigma?
Most likely not. The professor has already tested that vaccine on it. It had absolutely no effect.
I guess I can see why Rousseau's so intrigued by it. If he was the one to announce it to the world, he'd become the most renowned doctor in medical history.
Dr. Vaughn, Dr. Blaylock, 2 patients have been added to each of your schedules.
Aren't these Rousseau's patients?
Yes, but he's very busy.
Looks like I better get used to being sleep deprived.
It seems Professor Wilkins is on the road to wellness.
But how long will it take for him to fully recover?
The professor's a lot tougher than he looks, you know.
Dr. Rousseau must be hoping he resigns, or at least relinquishes some of his authority.
I heard another hospital has been courting him as well. He's had a lot of visitors lately.
Perhaps he's going to take up a position as a lecturer somewhere. I envy him.
He's the talk of the entire hospital.
Oh, but he's not the only one.
Meaning what exactly?
I've heard from more than one source that someone will be paying you two a visit soon as well. Maybe Professor-to-be Rousseau will let you know about it.
That's not really my idea of a promotion.
Well, I'm calling it quits for today. Hopefully tomorrow won't be as stressful.
What about the professor's charts?
He's been updating them himself. It is top secret after all. Speak of the devil, he's paging us. I wonder what he wants.
He didn't mention anything to me. Is that the fire alarm?
Something must have happened. We better go check on the professor. Oh no!
Ah! Help! That man's on fire! We have to help him!
Be careful, Marcus!
Drop to the floor! Hurry! Valerie, isn't there a fire extinguisher around?
Doctor, stand aside!
Quick thinking, Elena.
Someone... Professor Wilkinson. Stigma.
Russo, is that you?
And then... set fire.
Hang in there. We're going to get you some help.
He's been badly burned. His life is in danger.
I'll get something to transport him with.
Thank you, Elena. Get the OR ready, too.
The patient is suffering from burns all over his body, concentrated on the left side. Some of them are third-degree burns, I'm afraid. The burned area covers over 20% of his body. He's in extremely critical condition. We'll have to use skin grafts. I suggest that we transplant skin from the right half of his body, which has fewer burns.
If we can't use synthetic skin, then that's our only option.
If we inject culture fluids, we'll be able to avoid further damage.
Since we'll be working on third-degree burns, I've prepared some coolants as well. I've said this already, but he's in critical condition. Please, we have to hurry.
Right, let's get started. These burns are pretty severe. Skin grafts are the only option. We'll have to remove skin from elsewhere before we can begin treating the burns.
All right, I'll get the culture fluid ready for you. You'll have to inject it into the right side. The culture is taking effect. Please use the scalpel to remove a section of the epidermis.
Once we're ready to transfer the donor skin, we'll do so using the forceps.
He'll most likely need several grafts, so we should collect enough tissue before starting. Let's look for other unburnt areas and follow the same procedure.
The most severe burns have already turned black. We'll need to excise this necrotic tissue.
Are you prepared to begin debridement? I'll get the coolant ready. Please
Vitals have
inject it
dropped?
directly into the blackened tissue. The coolant seems to be working. Now, you can place the excised tissue on the tray. The area's been debrought now. Please try. It looks like this area is going to need more than one piece of... We've moved down this area. Let's go on to another burn. The affected area is bleeding heavily. Hurry up and drain it.
Through. Keep it up.
Almost done.
completed the treatment. Great work, team.
The professor's office is nothing but ashes. Fortunately, no one seems to have been inside. But the professor's whereabouts are unknown, and we have reason to believe the data was stolen. According to what Rousseau said, the professor seems to have been kidnapped. What did the detectives ask you?
Same things they asked you. What did I see when I arrived at the scene? Did I notice anything suspicious? You know, the usual. Oh, they also asked about the professor's condition. I didn't say anything about stigma, for now. They wouldn't understand anyway.
I can't believe he was kidnapped. What's their motive? They obviously want more than just a ransom.
What's gonna happen to this hospital? What about us? The media's gonna be all over this incident. We won't have time to examine our patients.
Dr. Blaylock, Dr. Vaughn, there's someone here to see you.
If it's another investigator, then forget it.
Actually, it's the director of Caduceus.
What?
Long time no see. Regarding what happened the other day, you have my sympathy.
Thanks.
How can we help you?
It's a little complicated, so I'll get right to the point. After seeing the two of you in action, I negotiated with the hospital to have you both transferred to our staff.
You're recruiting us?
That was the plan, but circumstances have changed.
So what does that mean?
Dr. Vaughn, Dr. Blaylock. By the authority of the federal government, I hereby order your immediate transfer to Caduceus.
The authority of the federal government?
The decision was made based on the research we believed Professor Wilkins was performing. As skilled doctors and colleagues of the professor, we require your expertise in the U.S. branch of Caduceus. We'll do our best to accommodate any staff member requests you may have.
I can't believe it. We're going to Caduceus.